Hey THP, after a quick break, we're back. We just got done talking about Chicago and what that did for us as a team. I want to jump right into a question from a forum member about the Grandaddy. David Hibbler, if I said that wrong, David, I am so sorry.
You're not sorry.
He wants to know, this whole experience just seemed nuts, and it is. He's a not newer, but he's a newer member on the forum, and he wants to know what we expect our favorite part will be. And I know that's a super hard question to answer, and there's no right way to answer it. But what do you got for me, Tev?
What part isn't going to be good? That's the hard part, right? I mean, you go from just being with you guys, the Grandaddy crew, then you've got the fitting, then you've got meeting all of the Callaway guys and really engaging with them, and leaders in the industry, having them sitting right here in front of you and be able to talk to them. The golf, the equipment. I mean, there's no bad parts to this thing. I think overall, though, the part that me personally most kind of looking forward to is really engaging with the Callaway guys, talking to them, elevating my golf IQ, if you will, just by being around them, and hopefully by osmosis, getting that perfect game. But I know it's not going to happen, but still, and just being in that space is just going to be such a friggin' unreal experience that everything else is a bonus in my mind.
It's just a crazy amount of access, right? Like
the
Zoom meeting we had about the Apex and the Epic speed line that we got to have with them just by being in the GMama, that was nuts. I can't imagine being able to be doing that in person with them.
In the room with them.
Yeah, exactly. In the room, be able to talk to the guys who, that was my shape. I designed that. And you're like, oh, I'm an IT guy. I'm a geek by trade, if you will. So, the data, the understanding, the science behind it. I went to school for mechanical engineering. So you add all that together, and it's just, understanding and putting together the processes and discussions about this versus that, bounce, club design. I could just sit there and talk to them for probably days and not do any of the rest of it and still become home like a happy camper.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sean, what do you think?
Sean with an H?
Yeah,
we'll
go to Sean now.
I went with I was going down the same train of thought. I mean, I don't think there's any bad favorite part. I mean, from past events, I mean, the course is going to be unbelievable. The technology is going to be insane. Another engineer mind. I'm going to geek out on the tech, but really it's just all the moments we create together, and with the guys from Cali, the zoo crew, getting to know them, getting to understand why they designed something one way, and seeing them get excited about it. We got to see a little bit about that in that video call we did last year. Just seeing them get excited and have them talk about what they're trying to do with this generation, their next generation of products, and why, and then just all the fun moments in between. I mean, there's gonna be fun moments on the course. There's gonna be fun moments at Al's house, for example, and every step along the way. The bus ride is something I'm looking forward to. But at the end of the day, the equipment, the course, are the icing on top. But I mean, all of that is what you're gonna remember. I have a feeling that when we look back on this, it's just the moments we create together, the brotherhood we have, and then just the fun we have with some of these guys. And even hearing our assistant Kat, hearing Clayton talk about how he's still in contact with a lot of the Callaway guys, still reaches out to them, still talks to them. Just, it's unreal to think that we have that access and you form that relationship. It's just mind blowing.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
absolutely.
Good luck following those answers, Neil, but what do you got?
I think I'm
gonna, his answer's the putters. It's the putters.
A lot of you and not say putters.
Come on, you want to.
As much as putters are going to be, I might cry. It's truly, for me, it's the people. It's the same thing that made Chicago great. It's what's going to make the Grandaddy so much more for me. It's the people. The people make THP what it is, make Callaway what it is. And for us to be able to kind of get together, have those real human connections, it's going to be amazing.
So since all three of you essentially said that the people are going to make the experience, what location of the experience do you think will be like the most mind blowing? Whether that's the bus, the ECPC fitting, Al's dinner, or
The
just
nest.
golf on the
Nest.
hideaway
Nest.
course.
Nope.
Yeah, the nest too, but we'll leave that out of there. What do you guys think is going to be the coolest location to have those experiences with the people?
I gotta say Al's, for the dinner. I mean, it's one thing to be at the ECPC and walking around in the environment. It's, to work with the fitters and work with everyone else and talk to everyone. The bus ride is gonna be fun. We get to joke around, have fun pre all this stuff, but to sit down, have a drink, have dinner, and just have a meal with people that you respect in the industry, your
Yes.
brothers that have gone through this entire trip, you three guys, the rest of the Grandaddy team, being able to sit down and just have a beer and just sit back, or a glass of wine, and just sit back and absorb it all in and listen to the chatter and listen to the fact that we are all just big golf nerds, right? Enjoying ourselves on one of the best places on earth. That's gonna have to be, in my book, probably gonna be the best experience, because it's casual, it's relaxed, it gives you a chance to let it all sink in. You get to see people in their kind of relaxed state who are people that you look up to, right?
Mhm. I mean, I totally understand that, and my answer would absolutely be the same too, Al's. Neil, Shaun, do you guys have a different answer, or would you guys just agree that that's going to be like?
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I may jump ahead, Chris, here on an answer, but watching through some of the past Granddaddies, how can you not see the speeches from Al's house and not get chills? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that's just unbelievable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shaun, you were gonna mention something.
The first thing that came to mind was Al's as well. The second thing that came to mind was, I think, for at least one of the years, Roger F. Cleveland was watching him hitting shots at ECPC. But I think ECPC is going to be so much the fitting process and less the interaction. I mean, it's cool. It's something that wasn't Lifetime, but it's got to be. I mean, you see them late into the night house standing around drinking, having conversations, bouncing around. That's where it's at. It's got to be Al's house.
Gotcha. And that location experience question was from Baylor Balla. I wanted to give him his credit for that one because that was a fantastic question. Neil, I'm kind of interested on your thoughts about this question from OU Magic. He's curious about equipment. We all know putters for you, but have you done fittings on your own and know a ballpark of what you're going to expect, or are you just going in cold and letting Callaway fitters do their thing?
I have some a lot of experience getting fit over the past 2 years. Several different iron sets, woods, wedges. Got a great relationship with the local Callaway and Odyssey rep. Just from numerous things that I've hopefully helped him with meet any quotas that he may have to have. For sure, putter fittings, I've gone through so many, so I have a very good idea of where I'm at and what I like.
Yeah. Both Shauns, have you guys been fit before, or is this going to be your first time?
So before I joined THP in November 2019, I think I've been fit once for a driver. Since then, I think I've gone through a fitting and or sim time to track my numbers probably 5 or 6 times a year.
Well, that was also a dumb question for me because Danny Lee fit you too. So
yes, so yeah, Danny Lee fitted me for the driver at the distance bash, which was a really fun time trying to get the most out of that thing. And then I've made friends with a couple of the club champion guys locally, and I get to go down and I've done a few fittings to get what I'm playing right now kind of dialed in. So I kind of know what I like and what I'm at. So I hope I'm walking in with some pretty good numbers, a pretty good kind of where I'm at from a driver, from a iron play. I can't complain with the set I've got and how I'm swinging them. So it's hard to complain where I'm at. So
Sean?
Very similar to the other Sean. Prior to THB, it was 0 for me though. I was off the rack, just stiff flex. I knew my swing speed roughly, and didn't know that shafts could have so much different. Through some of the events, I got fit, but I've been fit a ton of times now. My former coach is now managing the local club champion, and I've had several fits with him. So I know for irons and woods what shafts typically work pretty well for me. I know what head shapes to stay away from because I tend to get handsy and flip the ball left. So I know that too much offset usually is a nightmare for me and that sort of thing. But I've never been hooked up to a machine for putting. It's one area where I still haven't had a putter fitting, so I'm looking forward to that. And with wedges, I know what I've used in the past and I've enjoyed, but I haven't experimented a lot. So I think that those are 2 areas where I'm going to go in with the most amount of questions, because I don't know many opportunities here locally where I can get a good wedge fitting where it's actually on course in bunkers and stuff with someone who's knowledgeable and can say, use this bounce. I looked into it a couple times and the options here were less than rated good. So I didn't want to waste the time on.
what I'm basically hearing is that for the most part, THP is the gateway drug of fittings. Because all of us
I still
never
have
got
some
fit really
opinion.
beforehand, right? And now we joined THP and all of a sudden we're spending all this money on new clubs, on fittings.
New shafts. How much money have I dropped on shafts?
Shafts,
Yeah, exactly.
putters.
Putters, Neil putters. I'm looking in the corner, all these shafts I got in the corner. Yeah,
And several of us, because of THP, now have the equipment to be able to change shafts and different things ourselves. And
yes, it's a downward spiral. You join THP, and next you know, half your income is going towards club stuff.
And
Yeah.
swag covers, apparently.
Well,
Hey.
there's requirements, and then there's life. You know, there's
I mean, in that last question, you guys essentially answered the next 2, so I'm gonna skip over those because I know Neil's answer to one of them. I know Sean's answer to one of them. We'll skip those. But I did want to get into a couple questions from teammates. I know it's hard to talk about the experience when we haven't been there, but there is so much that we can think about. We have a few questions from teammates coming that I'd like to dive in a little deeper to what this event can make us feel and why it means so much. This question is going to be for all of you, and it's from our teammate Aaron, or afizzle2100 as the forum knows him. And he wants to know, what's your favorite memory of past Granddaddies? Neil, let's start with you.
Yeah, I kind of answered it, but it's those videos from Al's house. That to me, every time I see one of those, chills.
It's a great answer. I could fully hop on board with that one. Tev?
yeah, my answer is the same as Neil's, but since you give me something else,
There we go.
I mean,
Thank you.
how can we not all remember the great 8 and 6? I mean, that's a staple in every Granddaddy conversation that happens, right?
Exactly.
It's the marker, it's the placeholder, it's the conversation about, okay, if you play against Finley, just don't. So how can that not be a moment that's going to live in infamy for hopefully through ours? Because I don't want to see us be, knocked out as, God bless JDAX, but
So that is funny that you mentioned that, because both Sean's, me, and David were playing together in Dubs Dread, and David was kicking my butt. And one of the things I said is, I just don't want to get 8 and 6th. Like, it, even without even bringing Dax or Finley up, it's just it's
become a verb.
Yeah.
It's become a verb, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get 8 and 6th.
What about you, Sean?
So mine's almost a cop-out answer, probably recency bias, because I just went through this again. But the 2018 team in general, I mean, that was a team that seemed to have a lot of fun. They were the ones with the holiday jackets at Al's house. They're the ones with Velardo the snake, constantly scaring Velardo. That y'all haven't seen those videos over and over. Clayton and the sliders. I mean, the image of the live forever of him eating the sliders. Find someone who looks at you the way Clayton looks at a slider. I mean, all of this
Yes.
stuff. That was a team that had a lot of fun. And that's a team that set the bar high for all the teams to follow. So, everything from the way they interacted at Alice House, the amount of fun. That team was a team that truly went there to have fun. Win or lose, they went there and had a hell of a time. And I think that's something we're going to try to emulate.
I did mention that I was going to start doing singular questions, but this one is also just too good that I can't leave one of you guys out. And I think it really resonates with something JB posted in the Grandaddy forum. It was today. I think it was today. How has your relationship with the forum changed since you've been selected to this? And Shaun with an H, we'll start with you.
It's hard to define how it's changed. I've been fortunate to be in a couple large events. This one though is mind blowing. I've had a greater appreciation. I've probably never reviewed so many past threads before like I have for this, or cared as much about my game. Part of that's from how I competed in previous events and things that I didn't like about my game, but it's knowing this is truly a once in a lifetime thing, and wanting to do it right. Wanting to look at the examples we've had set for us. So it's really fired me up about wanting to make sure we do this right, that we bring it along, that we do the best we can and have as much fun as we can and create those memories we're gonna have for a lifetime, not for us, just for us, but for all those who are following along, cheering us along, win or lose, having fun, making sure that we don't lose focus of, our captains did a good job, fun for everyone, making sure that we're having fun, we're being grateful, we're having fun out there. So it's really amped me up. I've probably told so many more people about this forum. I've done it every time I've gotten to something, but I mean, this is overwhelming. I mean, I played a little pitch and chip tonight and told a random who was walking along with us I couldn't stop talking about this, talking about this event, met him for the first time tonight, and now he's going on the forum. And I said, there's one spot open, you never know. I mean, go throw your hat in the ring, but so many friends, family just amped up telling them. I've had a handful of guys who've joined this forum who have told about many times, but just stressing that just how amazing this place is and these opportunities that just undeserved. There's nothing you can do to earn it or deserve it. It's just fortunate, right place, right time, and don't mess it up for everyone else.
I mean, so Shaun, Tev, you actually asked a question that has to do with relationships with people and technically the forum. So I wanted to bring that one up, and it was, what has been your biggest surprise or takeaway from the experience so far, being selected and bonding with the existing members of THP? I want to answer this one because it was pretty. There's not a lot of words that you can use to describe, but I'm getting married this weekend, obviously, and I went to a bachelor party with friends that I've known my entire life. We went to Coeur d'Alene. We went to play the Coeur d'Alene Resort. We went to play Circling Raven, and I had a good time. But I've known these guys my entire life, and I had more fun at the Chicago trip with you guys than I had at a bachelor party with people that I've known forever. Like, you guys are brothers, and it all happened because of some internet event that people don't believe is real. So it's pretty mind blowing, like what this can do for people if you guys if you jump in and commit and interact. I don't know. I just found that after doing those trips so close back to back, I found it pretty eye-opening that I had a more enjoyable time with you guys than I had with people that I've known my entire life. So, Shaun, you asked it. Do you want to answer it?
Well, at first you got to stop us from getting all weepy by saying that we're better than your friends. Neil's getting all weepy. I can see him getting teared up. Cheeks are getting rosy. And he's about to ball his ass off. So let's pull it back on the emotional near jerk. The thing that surprised me, I think, and it shouldn't have, but it did, was how quickly the four of us bonded. And then beyond that, how quickly the entire Granddaddy crew bonded, right? So similar to your answer, Chris, just the idea that you're walking into strangers that you've never seen, you've never talked to other than video chats, and you know them on the forum and everything else. And you walk in and it's like you've known them for years. Like there was no awkwardness. You walked in, I'll repeat the same thing. I walked into the hotel the first night when you guys were all sitting there and I just went, my boys.
I remember that.
Right. And it was like, boom, we're there. There wasn't anything else left to say at that point. It just, okay, we know who we are and we're there. I didn't expect that because with the distance bash, being selected for that and going to that, there was some communication beforehand, obviously, and there was conversations, but not to the same level because the event is very different. It has a different meaning for THP. It has a different meaning for all of us who are members and have participated. The history and everything else. It's just there's a more of a weight to it, and it just seems to add to the bonding that we have and the rest of the guys have, right? So that's the surprise to me was how quickly and how easily it seemed to for all of us just to be like, flip a switch and boom, we're all teammates.
Yeah. I need your answer, Neil, because I'm not gonna put a question like that out there and not get your answer. So.
Right. No, it was just, how easy it was. It was, this group, it's like I've known you guys forever.
You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
I look forward to the daily banter that we have every day. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's something I don't know if everybody on the forum knows, but we literally talk every single day.
Every day.
And I'm not joking. Every single day. If you see our chat logs, it is every day, multiple times a day, whether it's talking about swag stuff or we're talking about, did you see that golf stuff? Or did you, whatever the case, we literally talk every single day.
And if you don't keep up on it, you can come back to like 60, 70 messages all at once. Like it's
easily.
Very quick.
I don't want, like you said, Shaun, I don't want to get too emotional. So we're gonna jump out of that one really quick. And then I have 2 questions left before we get out of here because we're down to about 15 minutes on Zoom's stupid recording limit.
I blame Neil for being so chatty.
Our teammate Cody, Golfers Anonymous, who just recently joined the team, wants to know if there's any nerves with the whole thing, and if so, which part has you the most nervous? Shaun, with an H, seeing as you've been in the biggest event other than this, I'd like to know your thoughts here.
I guess it's the fear that your swing disappears before the event. After experiencing,
there's so much to do with your swing at this event, right? It's fitting, it's playing. I totally understand that.
It's a lot of pressure, and I think that's why. I have my own plan that I've done a lot of lessons, but a lot of from here on out is just playing, getting the feel. Minor changes, don't change anything too late. So I think there's going to be nerves. There's going to be first tee nerves. It happens. JB was kind of brutal to us. If you go back and look at my year Morgan Cup, the hole we started on was driving over water, and if you had any sort of fade, is worse water. It was, and there are a lot of balls that went in the water on that first hole. So first tee pressure is real. The pressure of all of our games have ebbs and flows. So it's remembering what it's really about. For those who haven't been on one of these, that's where I hope that some of us who've been to these can kind of calm them down and just be like, it's just golf. Hit your ball. We're all going to hit crappy shots. We're going to hit really good shots. Just play your ball, have fun. Don't lose focus. You don't want to be the guy out there making a clown of yourself, throwing clubs or something after a trip of a lifetime. I don't think we have any guys who are going to do that. So nerves will be there. Nerves about, just the performance center. There's going to be butterflies. I'm going to be swinging out my darn shoes because I've seen how far some of you hit it and I do not. And I'm going to want to. So there's going to be some nerves. Yeah. Yeah, hitting it a mile past us.
I'm sorry, my old weary bones can't swing that hard.
Yeah. You put us all to shame.
I I totally agree. Especially with how my game's been these past couple weeks. It's fear of the swing going wrong, but I mean, it's pretty timely that Dax and Mike both posted about what you need to prepare for with the fitting. So I'm going to take a lot of that to heart, and I hopefully just come and am able to do what I need to do. So we're winding down here, and I got one more question from a forum member, 604. And Tev, since you asked me, because I'm assuming you looked up the courses, looking over the scorecard, which holes do you see yourself comfortable playing?
So I really want to play hole 7 on Clive. That's what you see. It's on the video with Al. It's the par 3 that's just absolutely like, I'm probably going to stand there and just stare at it for like 10 minutes, and someone's going to have to nudge me to go hit a ball. It is
slow play.
It is picture perfect. Like, I couldn't think of a better, like a more beautiful golf hole. So that one I'm really keen on playing. The other one I think is probably going to shock people, but number 13 at Clive, the long par 5 that's got an interesting tweak at the end. I can't wait to get my chops into that one, because the drive sets up for a draw off the tee box. It sets up for a little fade into, it's 530-yard par 5, something like that. So it's I can't wait to get my shot at that one. I think that's gonna be a fun hole for me.
Awesome. I like I said, time limit's coming up on the Zoom meeting, but I want to wrap this up with a question I have myself, and I think it's mind blowing because it's awesome. Like I mentioned in the get to know you thread, Finley's watching these. Like, he's actually taken time out of his freaking day to watch these and get to know us. He mentioned Matt's single record. So is there anything you guys want to say to Finley, because he'll probably check this one out at some point. So Neil, let's start with you.
Oh, what do I want to say? I mean, thank you. Just thank you for putting this on, for having us, for helping us get to this point, doing this for the community, having us be the ambassadors, and that responsibility to the community that we're really taking seriously on this team. And watch out, because we're coming.
Love that. Dev?
It's a similar thing. I mean, just being, I can't express the appreciation for the communications we've had with Jason, with going through the GMama conversations and now at Grandaddy. There isn't a person that I know that is as passionate about golf and the company he works for and the technology and just everything that's there. So Jason, thank you for kind of spreading that passion around. I will echo Mr. Neil about watch your back. We're coming for you. We'll throw a little trash talk in there, but we'll see. I'm sure he's going to do it way better than all of us can.
Yeah, but he's a natural.
He's a natural. He's the master, of course. Hopefully we can use some set of Jedi mind tricks on him, but we'll see.
And then Shaun, got anything?
There's not much left. I mean, he bleeds Callaway, and if you haven't got the experience to talk to him, even video chat like we have, it just amps you up. I'm looking forward to shaking his hand, thanking him personally, having a drink with him, picking his brain about the golf balls, find out if the chicken wing Truvis were the worst ever Truvis he's ever done, and just get him laughing. And I'm looking forward. I'm sure, knowing him and hearing about his epic trash talk, I know that he's going to have some special trash talk for each of us. There you go. He's got the ball. I know that he's going to customize it for each of us with something we've said. So I'm just looking forward to that. I just can't wait.
I thought we'd get a little more trash talk, but I echo the everything. Just it's a big thank you, because
we're going to trash talk, but I'm going to save it for in person.
Nah, that's
right.
fair. That's
you can't
fair.
give too much away. You can't give a master a heads up on your game plan. You got to come in and surprise them. You got to lull them into a false sense of security and then bash them over the head. You can't
that's fair, but I mean, just a small little dig, anything, because all he said on Matt's video was can't wait to change that record for him, even though all Matt was talking about and how we've seen is that he's undefeated in match play. So was just a small little jab at him that I was maybe thought you guys might want to return, but we'll wait until we're in person.
The more
I'm not sure if it's fitting. Is it right for us to trash talk them when we're not the ones playing them in singles? Do we want to poke the bear on that?
Hey, I mean,
That's true.
Is that not nice to our cat?
yeah, I mean, exactly. Matt has to play him, so any talk we do doesn't come back on us.
Nice.
So I mean, this one's essentially over. But just to end this, I just wanted to say, I mentioned it earlier that we had a post from JB that mentioned to be present on the forum, so that everybody can get invested in the event and us being there and root for us. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do these videos. Clayton and Kev, I don't know if they started these, but that's what I saw when I was going back through posts and stuff. That's the reason I wanted to do these videos, to get to know people, for the forum to get to know us. It's so much easier to be invested in an event when you have a vested interest in who's there. My buddy Golden Buff just got selected for the Titleist experience, and I'm just through the roof excited for him and can't wait to follow that along, because I know how great of a person he is, and I just can't wait to follow. So I hope that THPers are enjoying this, because you guys being invested keeps us pumped up and ready for the journey, because it's been a long one. Like, it's been a real long journey for Matt, Clayton, and David, for us four, for Aaron, Dennis, and Tony, and then Cody, Michael, and whoever the last member is. It's been a journey for everybody. So thank you, Shaun, without an H. Thank you, Shaun, with an H. And thank you, Neil, for joining me on this sit down. It's been an absolute blast to go through this roller coaster with you three.
And I'll just say that, from the three of us and from the THP forums, thank you, Chris, for putting this all together. I mean, it's a ton of work. I don't think people realize how much work it is behind the scenes. It is an incredible thing to be able to show the forum who's going, get to know our personalities, who's the guys that you're like, oh my God, that guy's gonna be a crack out. Can't wait to see what happens there. Or, whoa, that guy's serious. That's not me, by the way. So thank you, Chris, for everything you've been doing. I mean, this has just been a rock star thing for you to do. Can't wait to see the next batch of guys, because I think those are the new guys that, haven't been through the process. People followed us on the GMama trip until we didn't go. So I think the next batch of guys, the new guys, the Anthony and Dennis and Cody and Michael and the rest of the group, I think it'll be good for Aaron too, right? Can't forget Aaron. For them to all get to know them as well. It's going to be a fun ride for everybody. So thank you.
Absolutely. And just so everybody knows, I'm doing this 3 days before my wedding, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm just kidding. It's been my pleasure, and I've enjoyed every second of it. So I just appreciate you guys getting on here with me. So thank you to THP, and we will see you for Blazing Den, Vader, and A-Fizzle 2100 here soon. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Cool.
Night.
Thanks, guys.
All right, welcome back, THP. After a quick break, we just, God damn it.
Yes.
I messed up.
Yes.
I messed up.
Oh.
All right.